Hey, welcome back. Welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack Waiver Wire Week 1 show. I'm your host, Dapscout JP, with the other most important part of the show, Jason Beckner. Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Good, JP. It's good to be back. We're back. Baseball's back. We're back in the saddle. We're ready. We're here for you guys. We're here to give you some. And if you missed out on last year, you guys missed out a great show. Me and JP here will be here. Some constituents of us at Fantasy Six Pack will be here weekly to give you our top fantasy waiver picks.
One thing we won't do is do this show early in the morning like we're doing right now on Saturday. We have already decided that Friday nights are going to be our show, but that doesn't matter to you guys. We have tons of coffee, we have caffeine, we're ready to go. But before we get started, please come on down to fantasy6pack.net, become a all access member, a subscriber. Use the promo code there on the screen. We love talking to our all access members. We like talking to everybody. We just like talking baseball. One of the biggest and best reasons to become an all access member is because you get access to our Discord. We could ask questions like fix my lineup or who's the top waiver wire picks for this week. So definitely a lot of good stuff there. A lot of great tools as well. So just come on down and become an all access member. All right, let's get into it. That's enough business stuff. Let's get into week 1. I'm so excited. And we do this by talking about somebody who broke Twitter. If you didn't know, Victor Scott II was sent down. And then he came back because St. Louis has, I think, 84 injuries to their starting lineup. Now, the reason why he broke Twitter is because there is literally 2 camps. There's not a third. There's not like a middle ground here. It's either Victor Scott II is amazing, and I jokingly have like a Hall of Fame tracker on my Twitter, or you have Victor Scott is second is not even as good as Esteury Ruiz. But luckily, game 1, we got to see why you want Victor Scott II. And, let's just have a quick look see at him. I mean, yeah, you just. So, what you missed here, though, is what happened right before this play, how he got on base. He hits a ground ball to Mookie Betts and basically is running so darn fast that Mookie's got to basically get off his glove and throw it, throws it into the dirt. He doesn't get a hit, but honestly, it should be a hit when you are scaring the heck out of the fielder because of your speed. But he gets on base, and immediately everybody knew that he was going to steal second base, and he stole second base. And there you go. So that's there from Mike Curlin. So let's go ahead and let's go into some Victor Scott stats here. First of all, I'm not going to be on either side of that Esteury Ruiz debate. I think one of the biggest things going for him is the fact that he's with the Cardinals. And he doesn't have to play in O.co Stadium or whatever it's going to be called this last season. So that's the first part. And he's not at the top of the lineup. I think he batted 8th or 9th. But let's look at the important part here. He had 94 stolen bases last year. And if he has a K rate, if this is actually his K rate, if he's under 20% K rate, that's great. Okay, look, fine. He's not going to have a bunch of home runs, but that's not why you get, the Victor Scott II. You get him because he's not going to strike out a bunch. I mean, if you can give me a 350 OBP, which he won't, but if you give me a 300 plus OBP, I'm happy. This is not a Esteury Ruiz if those are the types of things that we're looking at here. But again, I like the organization better than the A's. It's hard for me to say. And of course, I like the stadium. But mostly, he broke Fab. He broke Twitter. Jason, where are you on Victor Scott II, other than, of course, calling him a Hall of Famer?
I'm in the same, well, again, not the Hall of Fame boat, but I'm with you on Victor Scott. We've both been kind of on him coming into the season and then spring training. I mean, how can you not like a guy that steals 94 bases in a season, even not even at the low minors, at some high minor levels? He does hit for, he's got a career 290 average in the minor league. So it's hits for a little bit of a higher average than most people would think. Everyone wants to, compare him to Esteury Ruiz, and he's only a bunny. But hey, if you need stolen bases right now, early in the season, look for Victor Scott. He should be out on your waiver wire. He's a great pickup. And like you said, St. Louis is a way better player development organization than Oakland is. So if everyone wants to compare him to Esteury Ruiz, just look at St. Louis versus Oakland when it comes to player development.
Thanks, Jason. I needed another right there. All right. All right. So yeah, go run out, get Victor Scott if he's still available. I mean, at
Yeah.
this point, it's pretty. It was pretty crazy fab that I was seeing out there. So yeah, good times. All right. So from chasing stolen bases to chasing saves.
Hmm.
So here's the thing about, and I'm not even, I typically do a highlight and whatever, but Abner Uribe. So here's my thing. Two things. First off, I thought, I was hoping he was going to be Juan Uribe's, like, son. 'Cause I thought that'd be cool that, father is a closer, but he's not. That bummed me out. But we saw every indication from Milwaukee's manager that he was going to go with the hot hand. So I caution you strongly to go get Uribe, please. But understand that it might not be Uribe all season. It might be Uribe for a couple games and then another person. This is the one part again, I go back to my pedestal. Holds plus saves leagues are the way to go. Anyways, that's enough of me soapboxing it. He came out, got the 3 outs, got the save. I mean, what more can you ask for? Except for the walk. So that's not what we want to see from anybody who's closing. Other than that, I mean, he's a closer. First game of the season. Am I missing something here, Jason? Because I don't feel very sturdy on this Uribe. For the season as a closer.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. First part half of the season, everyone wants to figure out, especially like the Milwaukee bullpen, right? Devin Williams goes down.
Right.
Everyone, it's always one of these tricky times of the year where it's the first week of the season. We see this supposedly committee of saves or closers coming out here. A lot of people think it was going to be McGill or Pyampus or Uribe as well. And sure enough, the first save opportunity of the season on opening day, it's Uribe. But again, like you said, don't go out and pick him up expecting to get the bulk share of the saves here, because we don't know exactly what they're going to do with that bullpen right now. The one thing I would caution you again with Uribe, super good stuff, great arm, electric arm, hits triple digits with the fastball. But again, only 23-year-olds. Why I bring up only being 23 is a lot of times managers don't like to run out those young guys in those high leverage closing situations. But here we are, first game of the season, Uribe gets the save. So, hey, I know saves are one of those categories that everyone loves to chase and get out there. And if for whatever reason he wasn't drafted in your league or he's still available, definitely grab him. He's going to get at least some save opportunities for the first 3 months while Devin Williams is on the shelf. So, in my opinion, for chasing saves, get out there and get a rebate for sure.
With caution, always have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Whatever. I just the Milwaukee situation, I avoided it like the plague. All right. So let's get to somebody who we actually have never spoken about before. Just kidding. This is one of those feel-good stories from a baseball perspective. Garrett Crochet. I wanted to profile him, show the stuff plus from opening day, right? Nestor Cortez, Tariq Skubal, and then there's Garrett Crochet at 105. I mean, you're right next to Cole Reagans and Frankie Montas. I mean, that's some pretty good stuff. So always great to kind of see the guy who's supposed to be kind of a closer, then becomes a starter and shows that what he can do. I hate doing this, but if you're drafting Crochet, I do want to say one important thing. Electric stuff. Oh my goodness. Let's look at, this K rate, right? The thing is, right, he had Tommy John. He came out through about 60 innings and 54 innings in 2021. Everybody was super excited. For his, again, I had him as a closer. I picked him up on all kinds of dynasty leagues, and then he got hurt and he was out for almost 2 years. Comes back and is throwing pretty electric stuff again. I mean, look at this K rate in AAA, right? 18 Ks per nine is not bad. But the thing's going to be here is that he's going to have an innings cap. So if you pick him up, know that you're going to have him probably for the first couple months, maybe up until the All-Star break. And then they're going to have to start pulling back his innings. There's just no way. He has roughly 70 innings, 80 innings total in his major league career, and that includes the minors. There's just no way he can do it. So Streamers doing 122 innings. I probably have him about right at 120 innings if you do with the cap. So again, you have to be a little careful there, but for a AL Central team, he's going to be playing against the Twins, the Royals, and the like, and the Tigers, of course. That's a great matchup for 50% of your time there. On top of that, again, electric stuff, and again, great story. Love seeing him back on the mound, and he didn't fail to disappoint. Definitely threw some great fastball with the breaking stuff as well. So definitely excited about him. But again, from a season long perspective, just be careful. Jason, I know I missed something here because I was just trying to make sure I put in that kind of that fine print piece there. But Crochet is exciting. I apologize. I didn't mean to water down the Crochet madness.
No, not at all. The crazy thing about this, right, is he gets drafted 2020. He's one of those guys that this is kind of like almost broke that barrier of getting drafted and then debuting the same season, especially for a pitcher. That's almost unheard of. Yep. And nowadays we're starting to kind of see that move up a little bit more. Right, and the teams are more willing to let these young guys come up quicker, sooner. But unfortunately, yes, he did get delayed by Tommy John. But again, nailed it on the head.
This is delayed by Tommy John now. It's not like career ending. He was delayed.
He was just delayed a season and a half. That's okay. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, definitely nailed it on the head. Innings limit here on this guy. This guy's the guy that's always come out of the bullpen. Even going back to his days at the University of Tennessee, he's only got, I think, total in his career, 13 starts. So that's, take that what you will. That goes back to his days at Tennessee. He's always come out of the bullpen. And the big shocking news of the year was not only is Garrett Crochet going to be a starter for the White Sox, he's now their opening day starter.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you what they think about his arm. He does have a great electric stuff, high velocity, really good arm. I definitely go out there and grab him. I grabbed him in a few leagues that drafted later when they said that he was going to be the opening day starter, because especially in the first half of the season, they're going to give him, some innings in the beginning and then probably, claw back here at the second half. But I'm very excited to see what Crochet can do as a starter, because we've seen what he was able to do as a reliever. Now let's see what he can do as a starting perspective.
Yep. Just please stay healthy. I'm excited about the talent.
Yep.
All right. Now we're going to talk about somebody who we've never talked about before. He might not be well known to anybody in any of the fantasy rankings. Mitch Haniger, well known to fantasy community. But before we get into the negatives, I feel so negative today. I've tried not to be, but let's just show you this real quick. There's a guy in the middle there, might know him, Felix Hernandez. He's talking. They're like, welcome back, Felix. This is great. We love you, Felix, and all this stuff. And then of course it's great because Felix is talking, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, your hair looks great and your jacket looks amazing, and Mitch Haniger, boom, and then you could hear the excitement in Felix Hernandez's voice when he hit home run. You just tell that everybody's so happy. So the plus and minus, right? Seattle, you're right. They're all excited about Mitch Haniger. And I love this first thing here at the bottom. It's like Giants fans watching Mitch Haniger go yard his first game back with the Mariners, and that kind of that face of like, what? That's who we were supposed to sign. So Mitch Haniger, great. Seattle, awesome home run. Really good story. Again, if only I could put my finger on why I'm so not excited about this. Oh, yes, it's the games played column here. So we have 157 game seasons, pretty consistent there, by the way. And then a bunch of 60-ish game seasons. There's a 96 kind of game outlier. So yes, Mitch Haniger, go grab him. He's an amazing talent. This is for real, but you should expect he'll probably play as many games as Garrett Crochet. So I made a funny. I don't know how Steamer's picking 123. I just at 33 years old, hasn't played a full season since his for 3 years, and then before that, 3 years before that. I mean, I don't know. It just Mitch Haniger's a guy that you go grab to fill a hole, waiting for somebody to come off, your IL that you have in fantasy. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get some power numbers. You're going to get a pretty decent OBP, but it's Mitch Haniger. I mean, if you've never played fantasy before, then you think then you know what? Memento moment for you. You don't have to deal with Mitch Haniger. You've never had Mitch Haniger issues. For the rest of us, I have problems trusting him. I have trust issues with Mitch Haniger. I'm sorry, Jason. Talk me off the cliff.
No, I can't tuck you off that cliff. But when he's at on the field, he does produce at a high level. So that's one thing we always keep coming back to Mitch Haniger, right? There's a reason why he even gets traded in the offseason straight up from Giants to in Seattle now. But again, you nailed it on the head. This is a guy that's only had 2 600+ plate appearance seasons in the last 8 in his whole 8-year career, and only 3 seasons of 400 or more plate appearances, which is not very good when you're looking for
right.
Fantasy baseball's players' best ability is their availability, and it's always been Mitch Haniger's flaw is just being on the field. Because when he's on the field, he does. You're right. He gives a lot of power, good OBP. Again, just wishing right now in the beginning of the season, you're looking for some sort of outfield depth or power, added to your team. Get Haniger now while he's healthy. If he gets hurt again, I would have a short leash with Mitch Haniger just because of those health issues.
Yeah, for sure. Just and the thing is, it's never like an easy injury. It's never like a hamstring. It's always like leg was ripped off, like type of sex with Mitch Haniger. It's always like a catastrophic injury. So anyways, I'm gonna get off the Mitch Haniger soapbox. I apologize. I've drafted him way too many times. So Jason Beckner, I want you to meet the other Jason Beck on Twitter because he is going to introduce us to our last person here, and that's Jason Foley, who strikes out Yon Makata with a 100-mile-an-hour sinker, and then fans Luis Robert with 101. So kind of a nice 2 strikeouts against Robert and Moncada, Jason Beck. And I just want to just show you this disgustingness that of course happens with this, but it was just the sinker just tails. I mean, look at that, just 100 miles an hour, just tails in. I'm pretty excited about Jason Foley, but again, if you were chasing saves, that was not the guy a lot of people expected. I mean, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that the guy that we all expected to be the saves guy in Detroit?
I think they may have spelled Alex Lang wrong there, but yeah, no, that is not the guy we expected to get the saves in Detroit.
I love the pause. That was dramatic effect. Yeah. I mean, look, everybody's going Lang. Foley's great. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with Foley. Again, it's one of those situations. He's not a big K guy though. The reason I was showing the 2 Ks is because if you look at his stats here, right? 7 Ks per 9. That's not your typical closer. Your typical closers are kind of this, high strikeout, hopefully low walk guy. He's a middle strikeout, low walk guy, which is not the worst thing in the world. But the thing that scares me is this almost 300 plus batting average of balls in play. That tells me that when the people get a hold of his ball, get a hold of that ball, they could do some damage with it. Other than that, I mean, if you're not in a ratios league, in the sense of if you're not in a K per 9 league, like something like that, then yeah, I think Foley's a safe bet. I think you can go grab him. Again, chasing saves. But if you're in a ratio league, I would avoid Foley like the plague. You don't know if he's going to be the saves guy the rest of the season, and he's going to tank some of your ratios. But I guess you get what you get your first week when we're chasing saves. I think that should be our new catch line. Jason saves with
Yeah.
Jason and JP. I don't know. I just can't get excited about this. But the one thing that's interesting though is again, the Tigers seem to just have a ton of close games, right? They're not going to blow anybody out. So saves are aplenty here in Tigerland. So that's the one kind of positive. So as long as as long as Foley's the guy, I think you definitely have a good shot here. Jason, I missed it. Is he the second coming of somebody that's good? I don't know.
Yeah, this one has me perplexed, man. I'm not sure why he's getting save opportunities. Like you said, the K rate's awful. The whiff rate's awful. The only thing he does do well is gets people to chase, which usually correlates to strikeouts, but for whatever reason, for Jason Foley, it does not correlate to strikeouts. The chase rate is pretty much 80th percentile last year, but again, the strikeouts in only 26th percentile. So this one has me a little bit confused on why he's getting save opportunities, especially since we've seen Alex Lang do it in the past, and he was supposedly the incumbent closer. I don't know, maybe, maybe Alex Lang wasn't feeling well on opening day or whatnot, but yeah, this was a little bit of a shocker to see Foley get the save opportunity here. Something to monitor going forward. Again, this saves are one of those categories that everyone's looking to chase. Get out ahead of it now if you can. Grab Foley. Hey, if we see him get back to that 7th, 8th inning roll, cut bait with them. But this one was a little bit of a shocker. And yeah, you're right. We need to have like almost a segment. Chasing saves with JP and Jason.
Yeah, I like the idea of I like the idea of Lang like having like tummy issues. And yeah, get Foley in here.
Get Foley out.
Yeah, Lang's on the potty again. He's got the diet. Anyway, sorry, we've digressed. It's way too early for us. We need more coffee. Thank you so much for joining us for the show. We're going to be here next week and every week during the season until we get to the postseason. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us on Twitter at Dapscout and at JRBacks. Thank you so much for watching.